Well, we are joined by Rajdeep Bailungbarwa, news editor in the newsroom, to give us what this talk actually means and how far government has been able to talk about this, because we have seen the first talk in the month, and after 6 months again we see a talk happening, and we are saying that the talks has been satisfactory and meaningful. So Rajdeep, how do you read this?
Well, Saidul, let me tell you that government is always saying that the talk is always satisfactory. Even in the case of NSC and IM, you see the government of India always says that the talk is satisfactory in progressing well, but now no solution yet been achieved. In the case of ULFA also, the government, the center has always briefing in front of media that this special talk with the ULFA is a satisfactory one, and ULFA repeats the same thing. But you see the people of Assam still in dark, and they don't know how the ULFA is dealing with the government and what targets may be achieved by this organization. So it will be interesting to see how the government and the ULFA manage to solve this issue.
Well, Rajdeep, there is a divided camp, ULFA Pro Talk and ULFA led by Paresh Barwa. So now in this situation, how is the government trying to handle, because they are saying that they are holding parleys and they are hoping that they will have some results on that, because we were just hearing Shashadhar Chaudhary, he is saying that they have been armed struggling for the last 31 years in jungles, and they are not saying that in 1 year time they will be able to bring some kind of solution. Don't you see that Shashadhar Chaudhary is also knows the fact that it will be a long kind of discussion, because he is saying that it has to go to the cabinet and it will be a long process. So he definitely knows that it is not that easy that solution will come on this peace parley.
He is absolutely right, and you see, though the ULFA is struggling for 32 years, and one faction is still in the jungle, especially the Paresh Barwa faction, you can't ignore them, and the government is also now they are listening to Paresh faction also, and they are trying to bring Paresh faction to the peace process also, but they are not succeeding yet. And this Pro Talk faction led by this Arvind Rajkhwa, the chairman, and they are also feeling that without Paresh faction no solution can be achieved. So they are still trying to bring back Paresh Barwa to this peace process. And I think it will take time. It will, since you see in case of NSC and IM, I should repeat this thing, that in case of NSC and IM, the talk has been started in 1997, and in last 15 years, no solution been achieved. That's why it will take time, and I think the government of India should think more about this and how to bring Paresh Barwa into this peace process, and let's see what happens next, Saidul.
But the Paresh Barwa's demand is sovereign Assam, and government of India is not agreeable to an idea of something called sovereign Assam. So in that case, because we have already seen that Arvind Rajkhwa faction has said that they are looking for autonomy in terms of natural resources, in terms of center-state government relationship. So now when we see that Paresh Barwa is very clear about sovereign Assam, and on one hand we see Arvind Rajkhwa talking about a kind of center-state relationship which is being worked out. So don't you see that these two groups cannot come together, and government will take a delaying tactics, and will see that this talk, which had been, like as you have been mentioning about NSC and IM, will continue to delay, and there might be no result as such?
Yeah, government is actually what the government is doing. They are always trying to manage these kind of issues. They are not going to solve these issues. This is what we have seen in the case of NSC, and in the case of DHD, and in the case of KLNLF and the UPDS. You see, government is trying playing with their tactics, and in case of ULFA, you see, in some points you are right that these two groups, two factions, may not be in the same line, and they may not be agree with these kind of issues, since the Arvind faction is demanding for the full autonomy in Assam, like the Article 370 should be implemented according to them, and they are still pressurizing the government of India to implement the Article 370 in the case of Assam. But it will be interesting to see how the cabinet approves it, because it will be a long procedure, and in case of Paresh faction, they are always demanding sovereign Assam, and which the government of India is not going to allow. That's why the differences comes, and I think it will take time and it will be a long term process as far as this peace process is concerned.
Well, Rajdeep, as you understand that Aravinda Rajkar faction has supporters, well-wishers who are supporting their movement, but on the other side, don't you see that the delaying tactics means that government would like to, ask this militant leader to come to the mainstream, forge a political party or join political party and contest election, and the issue dies down? Because if we see the situation, because people of Assam or government of India is not going to accept any of their demands, because they are saying that kind of autonomy which can be workable, but if it comes to the sovereign issue or issue of sovereignty or giving independence to Assam, that is not at all feasible, right?
Well, Saidul, you see, since 2010, the people's excitement is much more declined this time, and I should say that they were more exciting when the Aurobindo and his team were agreed to talk with the government of India. But now, as of now, the people are trying to avoid these things, and they are questioning on this peace process how ULFA will continue this peace process without taking the Assam people in confidence, and that's why the Assam people are still not very much hopeful, and but they are still they still want peace in Assam. So let's see how the people reacts, because I should tell you that the people are still in dark, and they don't know what the ULFA is trying to deal with the government of India. Saidul.
Well, Rajdeep, Aravinda Rajkar says that they should not be branded as pro-talk. They say that they should be branded as ULFA. But when we know that Paresh Barua is still in the jungle and he is carrying out offensive across Assam and northeastern state, how do you see that Aravinda Rajkar is saying that he should not be branded as pro-talk faction? But we know that the camp is divided, and the talk can only take place because we are talking about peace, and peace can only happen when Paresh Barua comes and when he decides that yes, there will be no violence. But because pro-talk faction is a handful of people and they are already over ground and they are doing their so-called activities and they are trying to build up mass support, but we see that the mass support is slowly losing its shine in Assam.
Yes, Saidul, this Aurobindo Rajkar always says that the ULFA is not divided, but you see, in practical, ULFA is divided into two factions. Still, I should say the ULFA is divided into three factions. One is ULFA, one is ULFA Pro-Talk faction, and another one is a Paresh faction. You can't deny the role of ULFAs in this regard. So, so that to bring peace in Assam, all these groups should be united. You see, in case of Nagaland, I should once again repeat that in case of Nagaland, the NSCN is divided into three houses now. They are NSCN IM, NSCN Khaplang, and NSCN Khole group. They are divided into three houses. That's why the solution, the peace solution is not achieved in Nagaland. And the case of Assam also, you see that if this kind of faction continues, then the ULFA cannot be united and the peace cannot be achievable in Assam.
Well, Rajdeep, is a very, very complicated issue to understand. 6 months after that, they have a talk and they are coming out and saying satisfactory. Before that also they had said satisfactory, and now they will be holding a talk in May. But they are not being able to come clear on what they want, because they have submitted a charter of demands where they are talking about autonomy, center-state relationship. They are saying that the natural resources should be protected, the indigenous people's rights should be protected. When under 6th schedule, we have the rights of the indigenous peoples being protected. We have various acts. We have our constitution which says that democratic rights for every citizen is already given. So what are the kind of rights they are talking, that the rights of indigenous people should be protected, and in what context? If you can just read their minds out.
Well, Saidul, let me tell you that these people are actually trying to implement full autonomy in Assam, so that the natural resources, the right on the natural resources and the rights on the indigenous.
When we are saying right on the natural resources, are they saying that when they constitute a body which will look after the natural resources, the royalty which will come, it will go to the ULFA or to a body which will be constituted? Because we know that the royalty are already being done by the various district council commissions, and royalties are accepted by government of Assam as well as the government of India on different contexts.
Let's see what is their agenda. They are not still clearing the facts, and they are still avoiding the media to tell more about on these issues. And they still, you have seen that today also the Foreign Secretary of ULFA, Sasa Chaudhary, he denied to reveal all these things, what they are actually talking with the government of India. So they are still avoiding the, trying to ignore the media, and they're still trying to ignore the people of Assam. And that's what we are seeing today. And I should tell you, they are actually trying to bring the full autonomy in Assam, and that's why they are pressurizing the government of India to implement the Article 370 in Assam as soon as possible, as per the special sources concerned. So they are not revealing this fact also, but we have inputs from our sources that they have been tabling this issue in front of the government of India. So let's see what happens next, and it will be quite interesting to see in the future that what ULFA will achieve from the government of India in the name of solution.